The most important thing, as I clarify once in lesson number 5, is this. We can talk, use all kind of words we want, but again we're going to return to the very basic fact that people, you and I, want our wants. We have needs, but we usually go with our wants first. People don't need pleasurable things. They want it, and they spend money on pleasure. So, now that we have that settled, as we are working with customers, the customers will have a now want and a possible want. A now want and a possible want. So that's all you're really looking at. Is this a now want or is it a possible want? If it's a now want, then you have a valid prospect that you will have a completed customer and seller relationship, buyer-seller relationship. Now, if you have someone that's having a possible want, but they don't want that want pinned down immediately, so it remains in the future. That's why it's a possible want, not a now want. So again, there are two types of want. It's a now want and a possible want. So we are asking in our minds as we're doing our service and trying to find the exact fit that will help the customer and not use a lot of verbiage but right questions. We want to find out, is this a possible want or is it a needed want? If it's a possible want, we'll just put in a tickler file for a future time. Now if it's a now want, then we have a buying opportunity. Again, a now want and a possible want. That's all we look for. Now the second segment of that concerning a want is when you start to understand and to know that this is a real valid want. This person want their solution now. Not want in the future, which is a possible want, but they want their solution completed now. They want the problem solved now, not in the future. So it's a now want. In addition to words you hear, there's going to be what has been known for hundreds, 200 years called buying signals. When someone wants to buy something, they start smiling, they start feeling it, they start smelling it, and oh, these are what are called buying signals. So when you start to observe these behaviors in the person you're speaking to and working with, and they are drawn to whatever they're looking at, well, it's a clue. It's not exact science. You say, okay, that's a buying signal. It's like, boom, they're going to buy from me. No, that's just a clue. And as a professional, we're always listening with our ears, our eyes, and with our whole intention being present. Not silently speak as we are listening, just being quiet internally. And that's going to be hard for many of you. So just start now. As you listen, just be mentally quiet and hear. You don't have to be taking notes. That's something you've been brainwashed with to believe. Just listen. You'll hear the main points, and you'll hear what you need to hear to get whatever you need to get. Don't let that little fear voice comes up, which is your natural communion with yourself of lies and distortions and fears and hurts and all that other stuff called the I, the me. Just let the I and the me be still and listen. Listen quietly. And as the customer talks, you'll hear their tone of voice, you'll see their behaviors, and plus their words. And we both know that people will say one thing and do something else, and people who are in detectives and all these other professional psychiatrists and shrinking things down, always ask questions. Why? Because when we're telling, we're not selling. When we're telling, we're pushing, forcing, making things to work out our way. But when we listen, we have our hands out and we say, let me hear what you have to tell me, as I silently quiet my mind. And so you listen. And as you're listening, you'll hear what the customer really wants, and you'll resonate. It'll take practice. It's art and a science. Selling is an art and is a science. So again, there's a want that I want it now, and there's a possible want in the future. So we want to work with the wants that are now. Until I talk to you next, again, be aware and let these things begin to be part of you, beginning this very moment.